safety. This is probably the most important meeting. They're all important, but this one's super, super important. Weighs very heavy on my heart. So with that being said, I'm going to go for my morning jog. Janet wanted to record me, but she's too slow. I'm too fast.
She's too slow. Yeah.
Look at this.
Look at that.
Is that like wow?
We've got a laptop case.
Huh?
A laptop case.
It's a Costco bag.
It's a cooler.
Wow.
It's a cooler. We got a shirt and some $5 folders, some notepads.
Wow.
That's cool.
Pen in there?
All right. Let's see who won. Who wants to win?
We all
The winner.
Oh, what number?
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Whose
Number
birthday?
one.
It was mine yesterday.
Oh,
I
happy
wish them a
belated
happy
birthday.
birthday.
Yes, I did. Thank you.
What do you want to say?
All right. What number you guys want?
6.
Done.
Number 1.
Speak it
Trade,
into
trade, trade.
existence.
2. Number 1. 4. I didn't ask you to multiply, Mark.
And she's not
You
even
said it
paying
twice.
attention.
I won? I know I saved
All right. Our breakfast sponsor today is, there she is, Lisa. She's got some goodies, some healthy goodies and some not so healthy
You can
goodies.
choose to be as healthy as you want or not as healthy, or
Or
combine
you do
them
both,
and
yeah.
then it
Yeah.
balances each other out. So
Yep.
there you go. Try to do a little bit of everything. So hi guys, good morning. Lisa Waldick with the Choza Home Warranty. I've given you our new brochure here. We just rolled this out 2 weeks ago. Same great coverage, but we've actually enhanced it. So what we did was in our standard policy on both the seller side for listing coverage and on the buyer side, we've added water softener, well pump, septic, and jetted bathtubs. So those are no longer buyer options or upgrades. So it was never covered on for the seller side, and now we do cover that on the listing side. So keep that in mind. Quick question here, how many people are utilizing seller coverage, the free listing coverage on your listings? Perfect.
Why wouldn't you?
Exactly, and that's my next question. For the ones that aren't, is it because you're not comfortable presenting it? You don't know how to present it during the listing presentation? Because it really can be a very valuable tool for you, not only to save that seller some money, but for you guys to get that listing. We know that sellers are interviewing more agents sometimes. You could be up against 1 or 2 other agents. So when you're going out on that listing presentation, the best way that you can present this is when you're putting together your net sheet. You're already putting a line item in there for HOA demand, HOA resale package, commission, closing costs, potential repairs. Stick a line item in there for a home warranty and explain to them that more than likely they're going to receive an offer from a buyer asking for them to pay for a 1-year home warranty at the close of escrow. And by listing with me, I'm going to include a warranty on your home during that listing and escrow period to protect you should something fail. If you're the only agent that's going out there interviewing for that listing and you're the only one that mentions that you're going to enroll their home with a free home warranty company, that could actually earn you that listing and you could win that listing just from having that conversation. Keep in mind, listings are sitting on the market longer, 30, 60, 90 days in some cases, and when the home inspection gets done, you're gonna get that request for repairs. If you've got that listing coverage on there, forward me that request for repairs. I'll take a look at it and see if any of those items could be covered under the warranty before you present it to your seller. We know everybody gets like the jitters when you're going to that seller with that request for repairs. They're freaking out. They're thinking about their bottom line. They're thinking about how expensive things can be. You can go back and say, by the way, I talked to the home warranty rep that we put that warranty on for you. Items 2 and 7 could have potential coverage under the warranty. So you're already relieving a little bit of that stress from the seller and having that conversation. So keep that in mind. If you guys need anything, let me know. If you want to go over some of that stuff again with that listing presentation, but I think it's really important. Summer is going to be coming soon, and the biggest thing we saw last year is it was hot. I mean, let's not lie. When you're doing home inspections during 110 degree weather, 115 degree weather, there is not one AC unit that is running properly. Every home inspector will mark on there the differentials are not up to par. Have it checked by a qualified HVAC person. You can actually use the warranty to have somebody come out and check that. It could be a leak in the refrigerant. We can fix that leak, put new refrigerant in. It could be a bad capacitor that's causing those differentials. Guys, that stuff's covered under the warranty, and again, we know no seller wants to put any more money into a house if they have listed for sale, and you guys are gonna look like the hero if you guys can actually protect them and save them some money. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. Enrolling seller coverage is as easy as shooting me an email with the property address. I'll get that enrolled and send it over to you, and I can give you the verbiage to put in the agent-to-agent remarks, letting the buyer's agent know that there is a warranty already in place, and then hopefully we can get a CHOSA written into that buyer's offer. Any questions?
You do rekey?
We do not do rekey. But I have a good rekey person. Now, the one thing I would like to mention about that is when some of the other companies do offer rekey, they count that as a claim sometimes. So whenever that renewal comes up, they're gonna get dinged on that sometimes. And the renewal prices come up. And since I'm talking about renewals, we don't raise our renewal rate come year 2. And that's a really nice thing. So even if they've had claims, we've paid claims on the property, we don't raise our rates. And at year 2, we will allow them to either pay that warranty in full, or they have the option of splitting it into 12 monthly payments. So we want to make it affordable for them to keep renewing that property and stay protected.
Any other questions?
I do.
Yes.
So if I do get your home warranty as a listing.
Yes.
And the buyer decides to go with a different warranty, what happens if we have used the service?
We cancel it. It goes away.
Even if they call
Even if,
someone?
yep, absolutely.
Okay.
So I'm just here to earn the opportunity, to get your business, get the buyer's business, get the seller's business, and work with you guys to be your home warranty partner.
One last question.
Yes, ask
Which
me.
other company does what you do? Like, is there any other?
So we are the only home warranty company that includes on the listing side and on the buyer side, the HVAC, roof leaks. We cover the water softener, the well, the septic, all of the appliances, including the refrigerator, washer, and dryer. So we offer that at no additional cost on the listing side and on the buyer side, but they're not options, they're not upgrades. We're the only company that allows you to call your own contractor out to the property. So Friday night, 8 o'clock, you've got a leaking hot water heater, you've got somebody that can come out there on Saturday morning and fix it. It's gonna be a beautiful thing that you don't have to wait till Monday or Tuesday to get somebody out there. Yes, sir, or ma'am. Yes, sir, yes, sir.
So in that, what if they're not on your list, or what if they're just like my guy?
Absolutely, you got a handyman that you can call up and say, I need you to get out here, I've got a leaking hot water heater, I need to file a claim, get them out there, and yeah, we answer the phone 24/7, so if they come out there Saturday morning at 8 o'clock to fix something, Saturday night at 8 o'clock, we're gonna answer the phone, and we'll be able to give them authorization while they're at the property. You're welcome.
What's the price for your home warranty?
We have them from $450, and the one I recommend typically is gonna be $825. And the reason I mention that is because typically what I see most failures here are hot water heaters. And the thing with that is we know that a lot of companies, won't cover for the pan, they won't cover for the earthquake straps, the permit, the removal and disposal. Under that plan, we're gonna cover $1,500 towards replacement. We don't ask for a breakdown of what's being covered. We ask for an invoice to say how much is it gonna cost. And typically I've got handymen that are doing 40 and 50 gallon water heaters between $1,200 and $1,400. So the buyer would pay that first $100 and we would pay the rest of that.
So there's no trade?
$100 is the deductible.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna ask you one more
Okay,
question.
go. Third time's
Wait, you said one more question before.
Yeah.
I told her she could ask as
Don
many as she wanted them.
Don, just give me one more question.
One more.
You said
One more.
something about the heater, braces, like, so if, in a.
The earthquake straps.
Yes.
Yes.
The plants that we put.
Yep.
If it comes in a repair for request that, hey, needs that's.
No.
If it's
Only
missing,
when
it fails, correct. Like this weekend, I had people calling me, when we had the high winds the other day, it blew off part of somebody's roof. I'm like, that's homeowner's insurance because nothing actually failed, so that would be covered under the warranty.
What's the pro plan?
The Pro plan, that is $1,300, and that just adds additional coverage to all of the either systems or appliances. And I'll email everybody, if you want to, if you guys want to text me your email, I'll send you the PDFs of everything, all the new marketing materials. Over there, we've got the full brochures over there. But yeah, shoot me a text and I'll email you all the PDFs of all the new marketing materials, including the listing coverage that you can insert into your listing presentation.
Awesome.
All right, thanks guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, and again, thank you for breakfast.
You're very welcome. Excuse me, hi.
You're welcome.
Alrighty, upcoming Rev Up training. Tomorrow is Mall Joy, finding motivated sellers and preparing to win the listing. 9 to 11, Jeff is the instructor. Then next Wednesday, winning the listing and negotiating the sale. Wendy is the instructor on that one. And then finally, next Friday is closing the sale, creating clients for life. All of our Rev Ups are on Zoom, and they're all on Wednesdays and Fridays from 9 to 11. There's schedules over there that has the Zoom login and password. All right, it's Thursday. That means there's a food truck out there in the parking lot. Today's food truck is Slinging Tacos. And they'll be, I have no idea about that name. They come up with the most interesting names for these food trucks and interesting menus too. This one's fairly basic. But yeah, so 11 to 1:30 if you like tacos and quesadillas out there in the parking lot. Most of the time the food trucks are pretty good. All right, so tomorrow at 3 o'clock, office is closed. No one will be allowed in the office from 3 o'clock on tomorrow because we have our awards ceremony / party going on. So it's going to be here, if you're wondering what the hanging lights are for. Sorry. Or hopefully some of you were invited. You earned the invite. And if you didn't earn the invite for this year, let's make it a goal for next year.
What do you have to do to get invited?
Do business.
How much?
I think it's 15 deals for the first level. Yeah, not a problem, right? Who's all going to be invited next year? And there's a volume as well, and I can't remember, because you can beat the volume in just a couple of deals if you're do some high dollar stuff. Lucia does. So who's all going to qualify to be here next year?
What's the volume?
I don't know.
Probably close to 4 million.
I thought it was like 5 million, no?
Yeah, 4 or 5 million.
Maybe, I think it's like 4 or 5.
it is 5 million. I think you're right.
The sales.
So 15 deals or 5 million in volume. That's the first level.
Why is it that they don't count the commercial leases though?
We don't count any leases, commercial or residential.
So why? Because leases are, in commercial, they're like a deal, like a regular deal. Commission-wise, but-
Check with corporate.
Popular.
I'm passing the buck on that one.
Yeah.
Never have. All right, March 17th is coming up, and we have our St. Patrick's Day potluck, complete with corned beef and cabbage. That's St. Patrick's Day, right?
Yeah.
All right. Corned beef and cabbage. Dawn, you said you're gonna make some corned beef, right? Sure. All right. I'll buy it if you make it. So it's a potluck. That means bring stuff. And so let Stephanie know. You can email her or whatever. But I think she has a sign-up sheet up front. So it's always a fun event. So March 17th at 11 o'clock. Is that Thursday?
It's Monday.
Monday.
It's Monday? All right.
So Monday? Monday. Sorry. Because I'm thinking about like drinking, that's crazy on a Monday. I mean, I'll do it anyway.
Where is your mind at?
Just start on Saturday.
Do you only drink on
Probably a
certain days
drink in
of the
that
week?
cup
I
right
mean,
there.
no, but Never mind.
You're thinking about everyone else, right?
Right, exactly. I'm being considerate.
Probably a drink in that club.
What's that? What'd you say?
So there's probably a drink in that club.
A little bit of Bailey's.
Clue in there, yeah. All right. What is this?
Lisa did the survey.
Oh, our survey. Who's all filled out the survey?
Who's
Is it
filling it
more
out?
than one survey? It seems like this seems to be a topic every week. There's only one survey, right?
There's only one survey.
That's because of the letter.
You just don't like the results yet.
I'm just asking.
It goes through this weekend, so you won't hear about it again.
Oh,
Till next year.
Sorry to bother you with all this information. So, for those of you who haven't done a survey yet, why not? It's your perfect chance to say nice things about me.
well, after this conversation.
You're sorry you filled it out so early, aren't you?
Oh, terrible.
Yeah, it is. That's me, you're terrible. My sister had to disclose that info. So for those who haven't, scan it right now.
Yeah.
And if, it's also going to be in the newsletter. So, but I believe it ends, he's picking them up on Sunday, picking them up, you know, closing it down on Sunday. All right? Changes to Zelle. So, you know, a lot of our banks have Zelle built in, but some don't. So what Zelle has done in the past is they've had an app that allowed you to use Zelle, but even if your bank didn't have it. Well, their support to the app is going away. So if you're using Zelle, but through the app, not through your bank, then you won't be able to anymore. So I think it's gonna affect just a small percentage of people. But we're working on other ways that agents can get their money digitally as opposed to a written check. All right, broker panel, March 13th, 9:30, right here. Your chance to learn about the brokers, the 6 of us managers. We'll have, we're gonna have a panel, we'll have a moderator asking questions, but we'll also open it up to questions from you all as well. Perfect offer, but you gotta be nice. All right, let's talk some stats. So our current active listings, 7557. What are you guys seeing out there in the market right now? Are you guys seeing multiple offers?
Yes.
Some say yes, some say no.
It just depends on the area where you are.
Area
Depends on the
price
price
point.
Price point, yeah. Price point.
You know what, I was out showing homes the last couple of weeks, and what I was seeing more of is people waiting to get in the house, waiting for the agents to come out, or you know, vice versa, which I hadn't seen in a long time. You haven't seen that?
I can't get people to walk through my listings.
Nice.
No, price is good.
Yeah.
Price is below market.
Well, we have transitioned out of that seller's market that we're in for, you know, several years. We're transitioning more to a buyer's market, but we're not out of a seller's market yet. We're
I
still.
heard rates is dropping to
yeah.
like,
What's that?
I heard rates was dropping to like 5.
Brian's laughing.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, let's all get rates at 5.
Yeah,
Where are they
we
today?
would love.
6.8.
Point, what?
6.8.
6.8.
5 would be like a miracle and the economy would be in total shambles if that were
Yeah.
to happen.
I
So
think that's probably next
be
year.
careful what you wish for.
Yeah, exactly.
People-
It is really
Yeah.
be careful, because if rates all of a sudden drop to 5, you know, this
Every-
number would go down to 0.2,
Yeah.
and we'd be dealing with massive, you know, multiple offers again. So, you know, careful what you ask for.
There'd have to be massive layoffs, people wouldn't be afford to buy anyways, even if they
Yeah.
wanted to.
And the prices would just skyrocket. So, we like rates to come down, but we would like them to come down gradually. You know, I'd be all right if they're in the high fives, but it may take 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 months to get there, yeah, so. All right, so we're at 75.57. Last week we're at 75.10, so that has gone up a little bit. Of the single families are 53.01. Last week it was 52.77, so that's come up a little bit. Sold, so 23.27 on the solds. Last week was 2,029, so solds have gone up. And then the months of inventory has come down some because the solds have gone up. The months of inventory has gone down. So these are all just kind of gauges. Again, it's just, you know, my job is to educate you so that you guys can go out and educate your buyers and sellers on what's going on in our marketplace. This is just a 30,000-foot overview of our market. If you really want to dive deep into it, you can. There's a lot of tools within our system, the MLS system, that will really dive deep into all the different stats for you. All right? All right, with that being said, I said at the meeting, really important meeting is really talking about safety. And safety weighs, I was telling Dale earlier, safety weighs very heavy on my heart. You know, I'm thinking about you guys all the time out there and, you know, being safe. So we bring Dale so graciously to come in from Idaho for us and, you know, teach us. He's got some, you know, great stories, a great video to show us. So with that being said, let's welcome up Dale Anderson.
Hello, my name's Dale, obviously. So I'm retired Metro. I did 8 years of police work in Salt Lake Valley before I came to Las Vegas. I retired in 2019 at the ripe old age of 48 and a half. That was pretty terrible, I promise you. You can retire before 50, it sucks, man. And I used to speak to people, I used to speak to realtors, offices, businesses, churches, and stuff like that while I worked for Metro about true acts of violence, okay? Tomorrow is not going to be like any other realtor safety training you've ever had, I promise you. Okay? I was here last year. This is like my 4th or 5th time being here, isn't it? I was here last year speaking here, and then I spoke at another place, and this young lady says, she took a class, some realtor safety class locally, and she asked the speaker, she said, hey, if I'm in an open house and I'm worried, can I put a baseball bat in the corner? And the speaker says, oh my God, no. Because if you have to use that thing, your broker's gonna get sued. What? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard when it comes to safety. Your broker doesn't care about getting sued. He's got insurance. He doesn't care about getting sued when it comes to your personal safety, stopping robbery, stopping theft, stopping sexual assault. He doesn't care about that. We're not going to talk about any silliness like that tomorrow. It's going to be 100% honest, in your face, truth about what you can do to identify, prevent a bad situation. And then God forbid something is happening to you, and we're going to watch a video here in just a minute of an amazing, powerful woman. Something happened to her, and she's going to tell you her story. Okay? But if something's happening to you, your mind's got to be right. If you sit there and go, oh, I can't do this, I'm not, you're exactly right. You know, I was in Hutchinson, Kansas, and this lady, she went to some self-defense training, and her thing is, not today, brother. That's her thing. That's where her mindset is. That's perfect. I don't think so. All of you in here are good people. So you probably haven't thought of some of the stuff we're gonna talk about tomorrow. Because good people don't think about committing acts of violence on other people. You have to. You legitimately have to. You may have to just think something violent to do to someone else just so you can get home to your loved ones. Okay, so tomorrow, I promise you, it's gonna be a little bit different than any other realtor safety, if you come, any other realtor safety training that you've had. It's gonna be a lot different. The video I'm gonna show,
Can we pause for just a second?
yes, of course.
So when he's talking about tomorrow, so tomorrow, he's coming back and doing a 3-hour CE class. It's gonna be from 9 to 12, so, CE tomorrow.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, you'll all get credit for it. Yeah, I used to go to one.
What's for breakfast?
I'm not bringing breakfast, so I don't know.
Lisa.
Alright, so, I set up the video. I called her Michelle. She didn't want her name out there. And she didn't want to be on camera either, and I totally understand. And once you see her, hear her story, you'll understand why she didn't want to be on camera. This is a 100% honest scenario. It happened about a mile from here. Some of you might remember seeing the news clip. We'll see the news clip tomorrow. And how I learned about this is I live in North Idaho now, and probably one of the most beautiful places in the country. It's so stunningly beautiful up there. And I got an email from a friend of mine, hey, you gotta watch this news clip. And it was a news clip of this attack. And immediately, I was enraged. Because, A, I love this city. I lived in this city for 20 plus years. How dare somebody do this in this city? And I care about every single one of you. I don't know very many of you, but I care about every single one of you and every one of you being safe. It's probably a good thing that I wasn't here and could put my hands on that guy, because I probably beat the dog snot out of him. He would have went to the hospital before he went to the jail, I promise you. It's heavy, the video's heavy, okay? It's gonna bring the mood right in the crapper for a little bit. The original interview, as a detective here in Las Vegas, I was a detective for 13 years and undercover for 8. I've spoke to and dealt with lots of really, really bad people, and we never dealt with anyone that wasn't a convicted felon. Everyone we dealt with was at least 2 or 3 times convicted felon. Every one of these people I've interviewed, I think I don't want to sound cocky because that's not the point, but I'm very successful at getting good quality interviews on people because I did it a lot. And I interviewed a lot of really, really bad guys. I was scared to death to call this lady and ask her if she'd tell her story. It really took me, I didn't want to call right away. I waited about 3 months. I called her, and it was beautiful. It went straight to voicemail. I'm like, oh yes. So the coward that I am, I left her a voicemail detailing who I am, what I do now, because I almost exclusively, not 100%, but almost exclusively speak to realtors in 14, 15 states now. And she called me back the next day. She said, I'd love to do the interview. She says, the only thing I ask is you don't use my name. I understand that. And I can't be on camera. Okay? So the night before, I emailed her all the questions I was going to ask her. Because if you cry in front of me, you will get anything you want. Okay? I cannot handle women crying. I'll go buy you a new truck. No, I'm just kidding. I will sit there, I will be a boob. So I didn't want to trigger her during this interview. I wanted her to tell her story. So I emailed her all the questions I was going to ask her. You'll see I don't ask very many questions. I don't talk much. It's almost all her because she's so smart and so sharp. She answered virtually every single one of my questions telling her story. And she did not have a list of the questions in front of her. Just a super intelligent woman. She's being re-victimized right now by what? The court system. Okay? So you have to understand if you find yourself in a situation like this, the court system, they are designed to prosecute bad guys, right? But there are a lot of rules when it comes to bad guys, and they have to follow the rules. So it re-victimizes our victims a lot. And she's going through that right now. I talk to her about once or twice a month to see how her and her family are doing, because I really legitimately care about her. So it's about 7 minutes. The original interview was 45 minutes long. It's way too long to watch. So I cut it down to the meat and potatoes of what happened to her, okay? So it doesn't jump around too much. It's pretty good. Maybe. How are you?
Hi, I'm great, thank you. Happy to share my story. So this did happen a couple months ago, and I'm a real estate agent here in Las Vegas, and I sell new homes. So this actually happened at a model, and all of a sudden the door opens, and it is this guy walking in, and he's within a few feet of me, and I just kind of felt a little startled, probably, I guess is the best way. Wasn't afraid at that point, but like you could see, he looked homeless, baggy clothes, backpack, looked disheveled, dirty, he smelled like sweat, he reeked of pot. And so I stood up and greeted him like I would normally do to everybody. And he kind of walked around, and I did not follow him in every room. But I had texted my superintendent saying there's a homeless guy in here. So he called me, and he stayed on the phone with me while this guy was in here. He was in here for all of 5 minutes, probably not more than that. So he walked around, asked a couple of questions, kind of muttered like, oh, I've got a few jobs, I think I can afford a house like this, and you know, okay, whatever. So we ended in the kitchen. He sat down. I actually had him fill out a registration card, which I would normally do with people, of course, a fake name. And I noticed he had a phone on him that he pulled out, and as he's writing his information down, stolen phone maybe his phone, I don't know. And so I gave him a bottle of water, as I would normally. It was very hot that time of month. And with that, I walked him out of here, and my superintendent was on the phone the whole time with me. Okay, so walked him out of here, and with that, I talked to my superintendent, and we decided, let's go around and check the locks, right? So made sure the doors were locked, and made sure the windows were all locked. Interestingly enough, 2 of the bedroom windows were unlocked. So as I'm on with police, he comes back and is banging on the front door. And my superintendent, after I called the police, I called him back, and now he's again on the way coming here, and he goes, well, maybe you should answer it. He's yelling, my phone. So I go to the closet, which is just, it's not even a walk-in closet, it's a regular closet, to kind of crouch down, to stay out of the way of windows in case he were to look in, and to kind of feel a little protected. So within a matter of minutes, he is back again, banging on the front door. And again, my car is parked right across the street from the model, but I can't get out because he's blocking both entrances at this point. Okay, so I'm crouched in the closet. I decide I gotta call my manager and let him know. And so I let him know, hey, I'm gonna get out of here. This is what's going on briefly. And at this point, the guy is really knocking on the door, ding-donging the doorbell, banging, kind of yelling, getting pretty rowdy. And so I'm starting to get afraid. And like, boy, this is not gonna be a good thing here. So my boss is like, did you call 911? Yes, I called 911. And I decided to call 911 again from my personal phone. And so that is what I think really helped save me, because it escalated it, because I now said, hey, I called a few minutes ago, this is now really freaking me out. This guy I feel is trying to get into the house, he's up to no good. That I think helped. So with that, I hear a noise, and it ended up being a broken window in a bedroom down the hall. It didn't sound like a window to me really at that time, but I heard a noise, and so I'm still crouched in the closet. My sales manager is on my work phone, 911 is on my personal phone, and I'm kind of tucked in the closet. Within a second, he was in the house, kicked my work phone to the floor.
He found her in the closet and he ripped her out at this point.
Started strangling me. And, I screamed, kicking, screaming, clawing, saying I called the police. Luckily, not a very big guy, about my height. And I am in the hallway, and there's literally not one thing I can grab to protect myself, not one thing. It's not a fully finished model. So from where I was, not a picture in the hallway, no weapon, no vases, nothing, clear path. And so there were several times throughout the attack that I couldn't breathe, that he had my mouth covered, that he was going for my neck, trying to knock me out, shake my head. And it's horrible. He ripped the back of my dress, and I am just in full attack mode and fighting and doing everything I can. It definitely bothered him when I said that I called the police. And my manager actually heard everything at this point. He was about 10 minutes away, so he ended up coming to the scene too. So at this point, I'm being dragged down the hallway to the laundry room. And at one point my hands are in his mouth, I'm biting, I'm clawing, and again, everything I can possibly do to fight, I am doing. Going for his eyes, going for his face, just major attack mode. So I get to the laundry room, which happens to be an internal room in the house. There's two doors, one from the hallway and one going from the laundry room to the master bedroom closet. And so this guy's smart enough to know, as it's dawning on me, he knows what he's doing. He knows where he's at. He's smart enough to unlatch windows. Definitely on a mission, and in the laundry room, that is when, that split second, I was still standing, and I said to myself, oh my gosh, this is gonna be really bad. He is gonna knock you out, he's going to rape you, and he's gonna kill you. And I remember thinking that, and I said, no, you can't think that. You have to keep fighting. You have to buy yourself some time. And I was thinking very clear the whole time. And so with that, he knocked me to the ground. And I was basically crouched up against the door. Both laundry room doors were closed. And I was screaming the whole time, swearing, again, fighting. And when he pushed me to the ground, I got on top of me, straddled me, and again, covered my mouth, squeezing my head, my ears, again, trying to choke me. There were many times, again, that I couldn't breathe, and, I wiggled, moved to try to get where I could breathe. And I'm not a big person, but luckily I was strong enough to, get where I could breathe. It's a horrible thing not being able to breathe.
Absolutely.
And I know strangulation is a very serious thing. So anyway, he's on top of me, straddling me. My dress, although it was ripped in the back, was still on me. And he is saying, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna have sex with you, I'm gonna kill you. He's touching himself, his hands are in his pants, and he kept repeating himself many times. I'm gonna have sex with you, kill you.
So, I cut a lot of it out because it's really long, okay? The part of it I cut out is he comes back in and she lets him back in the second time. Because she thought, well, maybe he did leave his son. Why did she do that? Scared, and she's like, you know, what if he lets his phone in? Maybe he did, because she's a good person, right? And that's what a lot of you would have done too. You know, I wish not. You know, but he didn't attack her the second time. He came back the third time and he's pounding on the door. Boom, 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 my phone, let me in. He's pounding on the door, ringing the doorbell, and all of a sudden she hears that weird noise. He's in the house. Within seconds, he's got her out of the closet and they're fighting. And did you hear what she said about being a model home, brand new model home? What was she looking for? Anything to smash him with, right? I was so impressed when she said that, because people don't do that. You know, I couldn't even find a picture on the wall or a vase, you know, and she was at least looking for something different, something unconventional, like a pen, right? Something that she could use to help defend herself. They're fighting in the hallway. He drags her, pulls her hair, gets her into the laundry room, and smacks her to the ground, and he jumps on top of her. It was about to get really bad, right? Dispatch, so her very first police phone call, it wasn't what we call a priority call. You know, it's just this guy's weird. Can you have someone check him out, right? Cops aren't running code to that. Matter of fact, it's like a 3 or 4 priority call. It's way down in the queue, they call it. Okay, it's way down there. Oh, we'll get somebody over there when we're free. The second phone call, he's back, he's smashing on the door. I'm really scared he's gonna get in the house. Does that change things?
Yeah.
It totally changed things in the police mind. Not for her, but in the police mind it does, because now, oh, we gotta get there. Lights and sirens, here we come. Okay? I think those 2 phone calls to her manager and her 911 made this scenario obviously shorter for her, and less likely that she was going to get sexually assaulted. She did not get sexually assaulted. Okay? She's so strong. She's so powerful, and it's all in her head. She's not physically strong. She's strong in the head. And that's where you got to be strong if you find yourself in a bad situation and you're fighting for your life. I don't care if you're a guy or girl. It doesn't matter. Your head's got to be right. You know, she said it. Oh, no, this is going to be bad. He's going to kill me and rape me. No. I don't think so. She fixed herself because she had to, because it more than likely would have happened, right? So when the police get there, so the manager shows up. Police are there. Manager goes, "Why aren't you guys going in?" The officer that's there, I know him, and this does not surprise me one bit. He says, "I have to wait for backup." What?
Wow.
Technically, we're supposed to.
Wow.
You know, technically you're supposed to. Boom! You kick that door, you find him.
Yeah.
You find him, and my camera might get knocked off on accident. I don't know. I've never done that before. But you get in there. The manager's at the side window telling the police, "There's blood on the wall." She's in there. There's a broken window. There's a hole in the wall. There's blood on the wall. You need to get in there. I have to wait for backup. Coward. Okay? And this I know this guy, so I can accurately say that. Police finally get there, knock on the door. This idiot answers the door. He goes and answers the door. No shoes. Answers the door. And they eventually take him into custody. She climbs out the broken window to her manager. And then she breaks down crying. You can't blame her. She cried at the right time. You don't have time to cry while it's happening. That just empowers them. Okay? You don't have time. You have to be stronger than what you believe you are. And everyone in here is. I guarantee it. Your mind just has to be right. So the police, sometimes they have their heads square up their butts. And they did in this scenario. They took her to the substation down the street and interviewed her for 3 hours.
What about him?
They interviewed him too. He was arrested. They did. I went to the. So let me finish that because I want to talk about him real quick. And then, in their infinite wisdom, they took her to the hospital to collect DNA. What? Oh, this DNA is contaminated for 3 hours now. So if they didn't have much and all they had was a DNA of her scratching him under her fingernails, it's contaminated at this point. So we're going to talk about this tomorrow, but I'm going to hit it today in case you don't come tomorrow. If you find yourself in a scenario even remotely similar to this, and the police get there, you absolutely demand that you go to the hospital. They will never tell you, no, we're going to go to the office first so I can interview you. They will never tell you that they can't because of liability. She said that she was okay. Medical come and checked her out real quick, and they couldn't tell anything was seriously wrong with her. She felt okay. But how do you know? She was in a knockdown, drag-out fight. Your adrenaline is protecting this. Okay? She's in a knockdown, drag-out fight. She doesn't know that she's not hurt. Thank the good Lord she wasn't severely hurt. She had a bunch of scratches and bruises and deep bruises and stuff. But you demand to go to the hospital, okay? You demand to take that ambulance ride. A couple things happen at the hospital. They're going to get you in. First thing they're going to do is they're going to give you some good drugs to calm you down. Now the cops shouldn't be interviewing you when you're on drugs. They should not be interviewing you when you're on drugs, okay? Because you're not all there. All right? You find someone that you trust, whether it's another cop, you can call me till the day I die, 64 and a half, have a death date. My life insurance expired at 65. I gotta leave my kids on it. 64 and a half, you can call me till then. I'm just kidding, but you call me if you need someone to talk to. I will ask you questions. When this happened, what did you feel? When he did this, what did you do? Why did you do that? And I'm going to ask you these questions because I want you to have your mind right when you make your official statement to the police. Because once it's recorded on video or written down in a report, it looks really bad if you change it. It looks like you're making stuff up. It looks like you're lying. I want you to have a well thought out statement to the police. And it's not because I don't trust the police, because I'm a fan of most cops. I was a cop for a really long time. And I was telling Mark I'm going back into it. So, you have to do that. You have to take that ambulance ride, please. I got my business cards. They're in my bag, I didn't set them out. I'll give you a business card. It's got my phone number on it. It's got the highlights of what I'm going to talk about tomorrow on the back of it. And one of them is take the ambulance ride. Because I want you to take the ambulance ride. Okay, get away from the scene. When the police show up, they've got things that they got to do. You're going to feel re-victimized. Trust me, they have things that they have to do. We can go over all of that tomorrow, but there's things they got to do, and they're going to take care of you, but they may have to leave you for a second. So don't feel like, oh my God, did they leave me again? They may have to, okay? The suspect, I was so mad. Oh, it was so good. It took months for me to get back here to talk to her. I went down to the jail to interview him. I don't have privileges anymore because I can't get in on a one-on-one interview yet. It's probably good that I didn't have a one-on-one interview with that guy because I probably would have got arrested that day. To say the least, he's an a-hole. All right? Very narcissistic, very all about himself. I didn't ask him about the event. I was asking him about things just to try to see where we were going to go before I got into this event. Because I can't mess up the court case because I'm not a cop anymore. I'm just a civilian. I can ask him anything I want. He was all about himself, 100% about himself. I stopped the interview. I'm waiting until he gets convicted and goes to prison, and then I'm going to go do a one-on-one interview in prison because I want you, all of you, to see what he says. I want all of you to see why he targeted her. I want all of you to see what he was thinking because it's important, okay? I know this isn't the best video to watch. I know that. That's in part why I shortened it. But this happened like a mile from this office right here in Las Vegas. July 11th, 2021. Happened right here in Las Vegas. This close to this place. Yeah, she does real estate differently than you do. But isn't this open house? Isn't that all this is? She does open houses 40 hours a week. Open house is the most dangerous thing that you do. And we're going to have a huge section on open houses tomorrow. And about some things that I know and I've learned from realtors and some stuff that I've come up with that's going to help you be safer in an open house. And it's going to project safety. It's going to project that you're doing things to be safer. And all that matters is that someone that comes in with bad intentions believes that you're doing something to be safer. All they have to do is see a couple different things and they're going, I'm gonna get caught, I'm gonna go somewhere else. Let's say that happens and they go down the street and they break into it, or they go into another open house and such assault or beat up or rob another realtor. Is that your fault? No. You might have a little what they call survivor's guilt because it didn't happen to you and it could have happened to me, it should have happened to me. You hear that kind of stuff all the time. But it's not your fault. Your job is to take care of you. If the realtor down the street isn't taking those extra steps to take care of themselves, that's on them. Okay? And I promise you, when I started this business, why do you start a business? To make money, right? I will be loaded one day. I ain't even paying the bills right now. Barely paying my bills. But this message has become so important to me. Mark and I are on the same page when it comes to this. I literally just started to do this to make a lot of money. I'm not making a lot of money, I promise you that. I'm $8,000 in debt still. But talking to you folks, talking to realtors around this country is so damn important to me. I was telling Mark this earlier. I come to the one conference 2 years ago, and there was a speaker up there, and he hit me really hard. It's on the way to the airport. One more time. You're good? Okay. I was on the way to the airport and having a conversation with the man upstairs, and I'm being super selfish. Like, Lord, help me with money. I can't handle the money. I'm in debt. Being super selfish in my prayer to God. And all of a sudden, I'm like, I feel like I get a smack in the back of the head, and I go, you know what? My bad. I'm just sitting on the back of this bus. I'm going to go where you take me, and I'm going to trust in you. Okay? I needed this. I get to the conference, and there's a speaker, and he's up there and says, if your message is on point, and you believe in your message, everything will fall into place. And I'm like, is he talking to me? I'm like, holy cow. I just had this conversation with the big man, and all of a sudden this guy's telling me to relax. If you believe in what you're doing, you're going to be okay. The next break, a Realty One lady come up to me, because she's been to one of my trainings. She asked me, I felt bad, but I was honest. She said, hey Dale, do you remember me? And I'm like, you know, I'm really sorry, you look familiar, but I'm not sure. You know? She goes, no. She says, you do a lot of training in your classes, and she says, I just want you to know that you changed my life. So what did you say to me? She said, you changed my life. And I said, how did I change your life? She goes, I sat in your class, and now I do this, and this differently because of you. Floored me. It changed my entire motivation. I'm not bragging. I'm not telling that to brag. I'm telling you it changed my entire motivation for this training. I'm supposed to be doing this. And if I'm going to make money, the big man upstairs will push me the right way to make money. If I just break even, I'm okay with that. Because I really, truly believe in the message that I'm going to give tomorrow. I cut it down to 3 hours. I taught for the LVR, which I will never do again. I taught for the LVR, they demanded it was 3 hours, so I cut it down to 3 hours. It's basically the same information, I just talk a lot faster. I didn't really cut anything out. Tomorrow is not going to be a death by PowerPoint training. The PowerPoint is just to keep me on task because I will squirrel out, you know? And I still do. But it's going to be about conversation. We're just going to have human to human, you know, straight up, no BS conversations about your safety. The most important thing is identify and prevent, right? If you can identify something that's JDLR, just doesn't look right, what is your brain's responsibility? To protect you. Your brain's responsibility is to make sure this is all good. If your brain, and I'll go over this again tomorrow, if your brain is telling you, hey man, this guy's scary, or hey man, something's wrong, listen. Cross the street, go across the street away from this person. Or, not after today! Something. If you can identify something that looks wrong or feels wrong, you have to avoid it if you can. Why don't we do that? So, scenario. I was in Billings, Montana, and I throw this scenario out there. Okay, you see the scariest human being you've ever seen in your life, and you're walking down the sidewalk, and he's sitting on the sidewalk right there. It's a narrow sidewalk. What are you going to do? Your body is telling, your brain is telling you, oh my God, I'm afraid of this guy. What are you going to do? That's what I want you to do, but nobody says that because I cheated. They said, well, I'm just going to walk by him, and I'm going to, a little while there. I go, why would you do that when your brain is telling you this is a bad guy? Why do people do that? You guys do it too.
Don't want to offend them.
Why? Because you're good in your hearts. Why don't you think about taking this pen and stabbing her in the eyeball? Because you're good people. Good people historically don't do that. Tomorrow, I'm gonna try to get you and the folks that come tomorrow to think just a little bit differently. I'm not one you walk down the street trying to plan to kill everybody. Okay? In law enforcement, when you're teaching baby cops to be cops, it's pretty old school, they probably don't say this anymore. Treat everyone like they're your grandmother. I have a plan to kill her. You know, oh, it took that long? I use different verbiage when I speak to other people, but, so, you know, just when you see something that doesn't look right, start making a plan in your head. You know, if she knew this guy was bad, why did she let him back in the house a second time?
Or not have a pen in their hand.
Because she's good in her heart. Okay? She's lucky. Well, I don't know if she's lucky. He didn't do anything the second time he came in the house. She got him ushered out pretty quick. Okay? If you're going to do an open house, we'll talk about this tomorrow, but those who aren't going to be here, have them fill out an interest card and look at their driver's license. Please. It's a super simple, stupid thing to do. How many times do you show your driver's license to strangers? The bank? Okay. You go test drive a car. You know, sometimes write a check. Nobody writes checks anymore, except where I live, they still do. Bars. You know, and you're showing it to complete strangers. So all you have to do is blame your boss. Hey, it's new office policy. When someone comes in, we need them to fill out this interest card, and I just need to confirm it with their driver's license. Okay. Anyone with good intentions is going to go, oh, okay. Right? They got bad intentions, they're going to say no.
Yeah, I had people like walk in the open house, they don't want to sign. I'm like, I'm so sorry, but here's the sign. Seller requires for anybody coming in this house to sign in.
Good for you. So it's $25 tomorrow. I think it's less than you paid at the LVR. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to probably even pay for my trip. It's about getting this message out to as many people as I can. I really care about all you folks. I'll grab some business cards. I want you to be safe. I legitimately 100% mean it. You can call me or email me anytime. My email is different on the card. It's basically my company. It's Dale Speaks at frontlinetrainingandconsulting.com. I know it's long. But once you type it in once, you never have to do it again. Or my phone number, and it's still a 702 number. So, any questions for me?
Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I hope to see you tomorrow.
You know, it's a heavy subject, really is, and he asked me permission because I knew, I've seen that video before, he asked me permission to show it. And I absolutely wanted him to show it because this is serious, it really is. You guys need to be really careful out there. So Dale, thank you so much. I really
I love this place, man.
appreciate it.
This is my 4th or 5th, maybe 6th time being here, and you guys are good to me. I love this place. I love you guys. I love Realty One Group. I love the power and the energy of Realty One. I've been to the conferences a couple times, and I'm like, these are realtors? Holy cow, you know? And I just care about you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So if you can make it tomorrow, 9 to 12 CE, like you said, there is a cost to it, $25, but you're going to learn a lot. So with that being said, thank you all. Remember, no matter how you slice it, this is a choice. Let's go out there and be great.
Thank you.